During the COVID era, former Maricopa County Sheriff Paul Pinzon set off a firestorm when he announced that his office was recruiting snitches to report on business owners who were not following the draconian rules set down at the time by Lord Ducey. Now, at the same time, you had Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb announce that he was refusing to cite or arrest business owners or individuals for violating the state's emergency coronavirus restrictions. In fact, Sheriff Mark Lamb went a step further when he offered classes to residents to teach them about their right to protect themselves from criminal and government overreach. So in light of this sheriff and his video out of Florida going viral, I thought this would be a good time to talk to the Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb. And Sheriff, I have to ask you, this video that's gone viral about the sheriff's advice. He's saying, you know what, if somebody breaks into your home, you need to go ahead and shoot them. If you need some shooting lessons, some classes, we will offer those classes to you through the sheriff's department. But this is contrary to what most people would say. What do you think about his advice?
Well, I think I love it, and I think that's what most people agree with him. The problem is we've gotten into society where they don't want to hold the criminals accountable anymore. The only people that society wants to hold accountable are actually police officers now, the ones that are actually trying to protect people. We do the same thing here. Like you said, we created that citizens posse so that we could educate people as to what their rights were and what they could do. And this sheriff's doing the same thing, and I like the boldness, and I think his citizens are going to love it as well because they know right where they stand with their sheriff. And then, we talk about Chilean gangs and Venezuelan gangs. We got it here in Scottsdale and in Chandler and other places, breaking into people's houses while they're eating dinner. I think people want to know that they have a sheriff that's going to back them up.
Well, what rights do homeowners have in Arizona to protect themselves if a situation occurs like you just mentioned?
Look, anytime that you can articulate that you had a reasonable belief that you were going to have serious physical injury or death on you or somebody else, then you can use deadly force. And I think somebody in your home would cause you to believe that you were going to have serious physical injury on yourself or potentially death for you or somebody else. And I think you could easily articulate using deadly force in that situation. Plus, you should be able to protect your properties and protect your home. That's really it. Somebody in your home, look, they've long since passed that threshold.
We talk about protecting yourself and protecting your home. We are at ground zero, just maybe a few hours north of the migrant invasion, the illegal immigrant invasion that is happening in our country right now is coming up through the Tucson sector. We're seeing more illegals on the streets. I'm seeing them Sunday mornings down in the zone. This is the time for people to not think that things are like before. This is the time for people to be serious about self-protection, is it not?
Absolutely. I'm actually sitting here with Frank from Fridays with Frank. We're driving around getting ready to pull some traffic stops, but we were just talking about how crazy it was to watch as people literally invaded our country. We've been talking about how this is an invasion. They physically pushed past our military down in Texas and threatening Border Patrol agents just to get into this country. I tell people right now, you're your own first responder. We can't get there it take us, 2, 3, 5 minutes to get to you. And nowadays, you've got to be your own first responder. So you got to keep your head on a swivel where you can. I would highly recommend you carry a firearm, train yourself, just like that sheriff said. Get trained on how to use it, how to carry it, so you don't hurt yourself or somebody else. But you should absolutely have your head on a swivel because times are getting a little bit more dangerous. And I wish I didn't have to say that, but it's the reality of what we're facing, James.
Now, Sheriff Lamb, I understand that you will officially be on the ballot for U.S. Senate after seeing the last spending bill Congress passed last week. Are you sure that you really want to do this?
James, I ask myself that question every day, but you know what? I am a patriot, and I love God, family, freedom, and I'm determined to be free. And if it means I got to go back to Washington, D.C. in that swamp, then I'll do it because I believe in putting, Arizona and Americans first. This is nonsense what we're dealing with in this country. So, yes, at 3 o'clock today, I'm dropping off my signatures, 13,000 signatures, and we're going to be on the ballot. And look, I'm the most qualified candidate. When it comes to border, crime, economy, national security, there's not a candidate that even comes close to the experience that I bring. And I think Arizonans understand that we need some real experience in these issues to be able to deal with it and get it right and get this government back on track.
If people want to find out more about your campaign, Sheriff Lamb, where do they go?
Please come to sherifflamb.com. You don't need to sign my petition anymore. We're going to be on the ballot. Thank you for everybody that did, but you can still donate money so that we can continue to push this race forward. And hopefully I'll get your vote in July 30th. Make sure if you're an independent, you can still vote. You need to request a Republican ballot, or you can show up to the polls and request a Republican ballot, and you'll get a chance to vote for me as well. But let's take our state back.
Sheriff Mark Lamb, Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb, running for U.S. Senate.